Hi, I'm Christina Lind, an Education Coordinator and Horticulturist at McCrory Gardens. Today I'm going to show you how to create a wreath at home.
Here's a list of some suggested plant materials for wreaths. I've placed an asterisk beside the ones we're using in our wreath today. Although you can make a wreath from only 1 to 2 plants, I like combining 3 different plants for a variety of color, texture, and shapes for each wreath. And for this large wreath, I've even used 5. To acquire these materials, you can check your own backyard, ask a friend or neighbor if they have some of these in shelter belts or areas that could take some pruning, or purchase them from local florists and nurseries. Since you're mostly using growth tips in your wreath, it takes quite a bit of plant material, so always get more than you imagine you might need. I ended up using about 40 bundles of plant material for my 24-inch wreath. In addition to your plant material, the supplies and tools needed include a wreath ring, floral wire, a wire cutter such as a side cutter or needle nose plier, and a pruner for your plant material. Some may want gardening gloves to protect your hands from the sap and scratching or irritation from some plants like junipers. You can also add additional elements like pine cones, ornaments, ribbons, or battery-powered lights if you like.
Once you have all of your supplies ready, I like to prepare the wreath ring itself by starting your wire. So the 22 gauge floral wire that you got, you can take it and start it just by wrapping it and kind of tying it on one end and then wrapping it a few times around your ring to get the wire started. You won't cut the wire until you're done with your whole wreath. But once you've got it around a few times, nice and tightly, then you can set it off to the side, leave it connected, and start preparing your plant bundles, which are sort of that framework for your entire wreath. So the base component of making a wreath is creating small bundles like this one that you will repeat throughout the entire circle of your wreath. And so I like to create one bundle of the chosen plant materials first. So now it's time to start our wreath. So we're going to take that sample bundle and place it, if you remember where we started wrapping the wire around the wreath frame, we're going to lay it right over that, the stems, so sort of the bases of your bundle, right over top of that. And then you'll take your wire, wrap it over and around those stems, and pull it tightly around the wreath ring. 1, 2, I like to do probably about 3 times around to get it nice and secured and tight to it. Now, I'll set it off to the side again. And then it's ready to start your next bundle. So then you'll just create another one of these bundles for the next spot. So your next step after attaching your first bundle to your wreath frame is to create your second bundle. Normally you'll create your second bundle in the same way as you did your first, the same plant material, same layering, same size that you did with the first one. In my case, I am trying something a little different in that I am alternating every other one with a red twig dogwood and one with this nice sprig of dried lavender that I haven't tried before, but I like the color contrast and texture and scent of the lavender, so I'd like to try that. So when you start to attach the second one, you want to cover the twigs here and the hardware, the wire that's used to attach it to the frame. So you overlap it a little bit and cover that. I like to start either in or out, and I'm going to start this one with mine angled just a little bit outward on the frame, and then also overlapping a little bit here on the frame. So about there. And I'm going to take that wire and wrap it again around the bottoms of these stems. Make sure I have it where I want it to look before I attach it tightly. Again, each time around, pull it nice and tight. Make sure the plants are staying where you want them to look in your wreath. And about the thickness. All right, it's a few times around. Again, I'll set it to the side and start with my third bundle. So now that we've attached our second bundle, I have gone and layered my third bundle again with the same plant materials, except alternating that lavender sprig with this red twig dogwood again, like I did in the first bundle. So this is my third one. Now for this third one, I'm going to angle it just slightly inward, since on the second one I angled it slightly outward. So I'll kind of go back and forth like that. So this third one, I will again cover the hardwire, cover the stems, place it how I like it, kind of up enough that it is good height. And then again, take my wire, wrap it over, have it the way you like it, and wrap it under, pull it tight. If you need to adjust anything, do it now. And then take it and wrap it a couple more times to make it nice and tight. Now I have done, created my fourth bundle. So again, I just wanted to show one more bundle with the alternating pattern. So I did my red twig, my lavender, my red twig, and now I got my lavender again. And this time, again, I'm going to be layering it and angling it just slightly outward again to make sure that I'm getting good coverage there. Cover up all that material, layer it in. When you find a good spot, start wrapping it tight again. And time around, make sure it's how you want it, and tighten it in a couple more times. All right, now all I'm going to do is to continue that, I'm going to continue that pattern all the way around the ring, alternating this one plant material and alternating inward and outward all the way till the end, and then I'll show you what we do once we reach the other end. One thing that I wanted to mention in mine is, since I am alternating them in and out, I'm taking the one, say the lavender sprig, and I am trying to direct it that it's not always the one flaring outward, and the red twig that it's not always flaring inward. So I'm taking those and positioning them that it is kind of balanced throughout your creation. So as you can see, we're getting really close to the end here. So I'll probably be able to put one more in here in the alternating fashion that I was showing. So this one now will go inward, and what I'll do is I'll pull up. This is that first bundle that I did. I'll be pulling that up to not get it tangled in, and then lay this in that spot that's left over, tuck it in. And then when you let go of this, it should kind of cover over that. It'll still look a little bit more bare here. And so this is, sometimes people will put bows here or ornaments or pine cones and things like that. But you can also, at this point, make a couple smaller bundles and just wire those in. Again, tucking them and just filling the spot, tucking them under this first bundle. I'm trying to make sure that the wire now isn't covering anything that I want to be kind of poofing out from the wreath itself. Kind of trying to wire it as far, tuck it as far back in here as I can. Fluff it a little bit. Get under there one more time. All right, so now I've gone all the way around, but there we go. But like, as you can see, it is a little bit thinner here, so I am going to take a couple small bundles and kind of tuck those in here and wire them in. If you can kind of see on this wreath, you can tell it's a little more bare, kind of this exterior part. So that's where I'm going to tuck it right in here and try to fill in that gap. All right, so now I've completed the wreath loop. So I'm gonna let out some extra twine here and cut it with my needle nose pliers. I'm gonna let a little extra length, so make sure I can tie it in good. And then I'm gonna take it in the back and tie it around that wreath form and kind of loop it around one of the ends several times and tie it back on itself. All right, so now we have our finished wreath, what I kind of like. So yeah, here's our finished product with the materials that we used today. Thank you for joining us on our wreath making tutorial. I hope you all are able to find some plant material to use and create your own wreath at home.